Welcome back to another episode with Chantla Israil. I'm gonna start the thing. How everybody doing today? Welcome back to another episode of Chantla Israil. I'm Mykel Ray. I'm here hosting the show today, and I'm here to introduce the creator and the real host of the show, Chantla Israil. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. Thank you for stepping in and, interviewing me. I'm really excited.
So what we're going to do is we're going to ask for some questions today to see how Chantla Israil was manifested today. So let's see what's going on. Okay. So the first question is, why did you start Chats with Chantla?
I started Chats with Chantla actually because I shared the idea with a coworker who has become a really close friend, and I shared the idea with her and shared how much I was missing my work relationships, like talking and finding out what was going on with everybody. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what, I'm going to create a platform called Chats with Chantla. And I said it and really did not, to be totally honest, I really wasn't going to do it. It was like something I said, and I was just like, I'm just going to share this with her. And she's really not going to hold me accountable or anything like that. And she did. Yeah. And so it started because I missed, the conversations and the relationships that I would normally have with going to work because we're in a pandemic. Yeah. And it changed just the way that I operated in my relationships. So Chats with Chantla was actually started because I'm shouting her out. Kelly Mae Smith. She held me accountable for what I spoke to her. And I did not want to disappoint her. I did not want to be an influence that, was all about action, all about words, but not with no action. So yeah, she actually held me accountable, and here we are today.
And I'm happy for her. Thank you. We do appreciate that because we wouldn't be here today. So I have another question. It is, what drives you to keep the show going on every week?
The people that I get to connect with, the people that, come on and the people that say yes to the collaboration. So everyone that's been on Chats with Chantla thus far, is why I keep doing it. And also to highlight small business owners. Yeah. There's not a big platform for small business owners, and especially Black business owners that I'm aware of that, shines light on a lot of the entrepreneurs, talented and gifted people that I know. Mm-hmm. And, it's an opportunity to collaborate, expose, build, collect, connect, and collaborate together. Mm-hmm. So it's an opportunity to do every week, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, and I'm happy that you're doing it. And it's a great show, so I'm on every time watching.
All right. Thank you.
No, for real. Thank you. And then I have another one. It says, how many hours does it take before Chats with Chantla do you put in?
So how many hours do I prepare for Chats with Chantla? Yeah. It's a few hours because there are some steps that go along with it, meaning that, I have pre-screening calls with the featured entrepreneurs that I'm going to be, collaborating with, just to make sure that we're aligned with each other and what I do on the platform is going to represent them. Yeah. So that could be as quickly as a half an hour call to, an hour to 2 hours, just depending on what the featured entrepreneur wants to share and how I work really hard to make sure that they're comfortable. But on a daily basis, I get up, and between 5 to 8:30 is my time that I prepare for Chats with Chantla. So yeah, it's at least a 3-hour minimum, but it's definitely more than that on a daily basis. So yeah, that's what happens.
That's good to know. That's a lot of hours to be putting in.
Definitely. It's necessary. It's, it has to be if you're really serious about your craft and serious about what you're doing. It's going to take, the dedication, consistency, time, and sacrifice. Yeah. So, that sacrifice along with discipline is what's going to get me that reward that I want later in life. And that's what, and that reward is that I want to, work for myself. I want to work myself out of my 9 to 5.
Yeah. And if everybody didn't know, I am Mykel Ray. I'm here talking to Chantla Israil, the host, the creator of Chats with Chantla. And we're just talking about how she created it and how the time she puts in and everything just goes in to give y'all what y'all see every day, or every Monday. So I have another question. It is, how did your life change and relationships change becoming an entrepreneur?
So my relationships changed when I became an entrepreneur. Are you talking about like just with family and friends?
With family, friends, and just like yourself and how you carry yourself.
Okay. So how I carry myself really didn't change that much. I, I'm still that same professional corny Chantla that I say and that I am. But in regards to friends and family, becoming an entrepreneur has really allowed me to just show some of my gifts and talents that I may not have exposed to other people, and then have them, really support me in their words and their actions and their texts and their, coming on every Monday to support and leaving a comment and sharing and, just doing all that. So my relationships with friends and family, my close circle, which is almost like a dot, they're very aware of what I'm doing and how it does impact that relationship. And so I wouldn't say that it's changed. I would say that it got better. It's, it's increased. It's increased both of us on each side, I should say. Yeah,
that's good. It's good when everybody in your circle is all on the same page. Yeah. I like that. And then I have another one. It's like, this question is like a real question. How do you create the ideas for Chats with Chantla? Like new ideas and the ideas that you started with already?
Yeah, the ideas for Chats with Chantla are created based on some of the inspirations that I have, fantasy mentors and people who are already doing what I'm trying to do. So what it does, generate, ideas from those who are my inspirations, and also based on the feedback that I get from the featured entrepreneurs that I'm going to collaborate with, and sharing that pre-screening call and getting to know each other at that time. A lot of information is released at that time. So I want to make sure what they're seeking is aligning with the work that I'm doing. So new ideas come every day. And the new ideas come from Chats with Chantla. What would I want to see? And so what would I want to see? Plus, just, going to those same support systems that I talked about earlier in friends and family and those relationships, and just asking, for honest, feedback. So new ideas are generated all the time. And I get new ideas from you. We share and we vibe, and you kind of give me some feedback on what would work or what may not work. And it comes with, because Chats with Chantla is a platform for all ages. And so it's not just a platform for someone that's my age or your age, it's a collaboration. So, and there's younger entrepreneurs, even younger than you, that are, rising up. And so you want to make it interactive and engaging. So new ideas are necessary.
That's good to know. And it's crazy because to think about it, she does a lot of research on the people that she's going to put on the show. She researches, she looks them up, she talks to them to make sure they're comfortable. So that's another thing that people don't see that you actually are doing too.
Thank you.
And then I have another one. It's like, what or who is your greatest inspiration?
What or who? So I will say, what is my greatest inspiration is working for myself, because then it gives me freedom to be able to touch more lives. And who is my greatest inspiration? I will say, you and your siblings are my greatest inspiration, and now my 2 sugar babies. But it's all those people who are behind me, that I always turn, around and look, because there's no way you can have success, but who wants to be successful by themselves? So I'm always looking like who's next, who's up next, and how in what I'm going to do or what I choose not to do. Because it's not so much what you choose to do, it's what you are thinking that, oh, it's just me, it's not going to be really impactful. Yeah, it's bigger than you.
Yeah.
So that knowing that there are other people that are doing the same thing or looking to you as a support or influence, that is a great inspiration to keep going, because you have that, and that that's a part of the accountability circle that keeps you moving forward. And I would want and hope to be an example where someone can say, I knew her and I knew of her and I knew her when, and if she can do it, I can do it. So you always need somebody that you can relate to. So knowing that there are a lot of people that are on Chats with Chantla who are featured entrepreneurs that have influenced and inspired me, they become a part of the greatest inspiration that I strive for and why I do what I do.
I love it.
Thank you.
And we know Chats with Chantla. You help everybody. You're helping people get their name out, doing what they do and love what they do. How do you market yourself, your business? Because I see how everybody's marketing yourself and how they do it like that. How do you do it for yourself with Chats with Chantla?
How I do it with Chats with Chantla is with the collaborations. Like, I ask people to share the information. I ask people to talk about the platform. And the biggest thing is referral, like word of mouth. When you guys collaborate with me as featured entrepreneurs, I'm always asking, do you know somebody else that would like to be on Chats with Chantla? And so, word of mouth referral is the biggest part of the marketing that happens for me. And then just doing lives consistently every week, doing collaborations outside of Chats with Chantla, just with, how can I support you, or how can I, help you get to a level that you want to, is there somebody that I know that connects? So that's why it's build, connect, and collaborate. So it's not building by yourself, it's not connecting by yourself, and it's not collaborating by yourself. You're doing all these things that help, and that's a part of the marketing. And then also, going on other platforms, using my Instagram page, using my YouTube page, and all of that falls under marketing and branding and making sure it's uniformed. And with doing that, you get people exposed to you, just doing as much out of my comfort zone that allows me to grow. And so growing is just a part of the game, and marketing is something that, is necessary for business growth. And I had an entrepreneur that was on, Rachel Sacconi, and she's a marketing executive manager, coach. She's done a lot. And anyone who's interested in finding out how to do more marketing, you definitely want to connect with her as well. But marketing is the biggest thing, is word of mouth, and people talking about Chats with Chantla and people joining the live feeds and things like that definitely help.
Thank you for everybody watching. So if you didn't know, I'm Mykel Ray. I'm here with Chantla Israil. We're talking about Chats with Chantla. How did she create it? Everything just that goes behind Chats with Chantla, and that we give you what you see every week on every Monday. So I'm just asking some questions. So I'm just here giving her some questions. So I have another one. Since we were talking about business, can you tell me 3 things that will help a business succeed?
Yeah, I think the number one thing that helps a business grow and succeed is consistency. Like literally consistency, being self-motivated, because, you're normally entrepreneurs, you're by yourself, you're doing this thing sometimes alone, and not meaning that you're alone without the support, but you have to get up and you have to have that drive, and you have to do the same thing every day, knowing that one day it's going to get you to the level of success that you want to. Also, another way that, helps a business succeed is people. That goes back to that support system. As I always say, hitting the share button, hitting the like button, leaving a comment. All of these things are components on what will help a business succeed. So I would say you as an individual have to stay consistent, even when you don't want to do it. Having the support of people, hitting share, like, commenting, and then also those people come into play also with referrals, and knowing that, it takes something to do something. So you have to be ready if somebody is having an event. And now, in my opinion, the events are so much easier to be a part of because a lot of things are virtual. So you don't have to worry about traveling. You don't have to worry about room accommodations. If someone has a platform and you're an entrepreneur, another way is collaborating and getting on that platform or, selling your product, going to vendor events and doing things like that, because that is going to help you network.
Yeah.
It's going to help you network. It's going to help you gain, familiarity with other people where they can talk about you. Because what happens is like people joining Chantla Israil, and thank you so many. There's so many comments and support. But when you share the story about Chantla Israil, now that you know a little bit more, it makes it more relatable. And then that story carries on to another person, to another person, to another person. And it just keeps living on through the words and actions of other people. So, you just have to be willing to put in the work as an entrepreneur, trust that support system that you have, trust the process that it is not a sprint, it's a marathon, but everyone runs at different pace. Some people do a 4-minute mile. That's not me. Some people do 8, some do a 12 or 15, but they get finished. And the biggest thing I just want to go back and even add is finish what you start. So many of us as entrepreneurs get up and we get started, but we don't finish. And you know that because I've done multiple things and didn't finish them. And, and sometimes people are like, oh, starting is so hard. For me, it's staying consistent to finish is what's harder, because that, when you start, people are cheering you on, people are supporting you. And then as you do and continue, some people fall off and you don't have that same cheering and applauding that you had, or hearing all those kudos that you had at the beginning, because with time people are still doing other stuff. And so you just have to keep moving forward, understanding that the same cheers and the same people may not be at the finish line that was there with you at the start line. So I know I kind of got completely off track about in regards to being successful in business. And success looks different for everybody. For some people, it's large amounts of money in their bank account. For other people, it's the fact that, like I said, they started and they're finishing. And I wouldn't even say finishing, but they're progressing and evolving a dream. And, my thing of success is, a lot, I've been, the time on earth that I've been here, I've been unhappy a lot, because there's times where, people pleaser and everything else like that for me, success is being happy. It's an inside job. And, there are a lot of people that are successful in business, but they're not happy. I hope to achieve both. I want to be internally happy and grateful that you see it when you see me, and when you see it when you do business with me, and that my business is thriving.
I like that. So y'all heard everything she said. So be consistent and know where you're starting at and where you want to finish. Just know that too. So if you know that, can nobody stop you? Just always keep it consistent. And that's what I say is always be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Because when you become an entrepreneur, you're putting yourself out there. So it's hard. Sometimes you might not get what you want. You might not get what you need. And sometimes it just takes time. So all I'm saying is be comfortable and just be consistent. And it's always gonna go.
So what's some other questions you have for me? Like just not that's from, I know he prepared some questions, and he as the guest, I just as the guest host, I think you're doing a phenomenal job. But what's some more questions that you might not have on the cards that you prepared for that you feel like maybe some people might want to hear about?
All right, question I have that people might not know. So after Chantla Israil, where do you want to see it? Like, where do you want to see Chantla Israil?
I would love to see Chantla Israil on a cable channel, on a network. I would, love to have that. And, and the reason for it is not, like I said, to have money in the bank and to have all these other things, but then you're able to connect with more people. You're able to get exposed to more people. So to me, money is a vessel that helps you have more freedom to be able to impact more lives. Money is nice because it definitely is, I feel like sometimes you have less worries, but there are a lot of people that have a lot of money that are worried all the time. So if you use it as a vessel to be able to impact more people, that's great. Because, I would love to be able to host an annual event and be like, okay, this annual event is at this beautiful paradise location, and there's going to be 25 people that win an all expense paid trip to get there.
Nice. Yeah.
So that is, something that I strive for in how I would utilize like the finances that I know I'll eventually be blessed with. But I think you have some people that want to ask the question.
Does anybody have any questions that you would like to ask her to get to know, or anything you just like to know?
Yeah, so as they're coming in, I see Deshaun said that he had a question. So I know you are the guest host, which I love. I'm just, we're collaborating right here. We're connecting and we're building together on this platform. But as, people may be getting some questions in the comment, what are some other things that you may be thinking about?
Another thing is with Chantla Chantla, was there anything you would like to branch off with after Chantla Chantla? Would there be anything you would want to start after, or would you like to start a new channel or start anything that you can branch off with Chantla Chantla?
You know what? To be honest, what I would love to do with Chantla Chantla is not so much branch into something different, but add on to it.
Yeah, add on.
And what I mean by that is like merchandise. You want cups and pens and T-shirts, and there's a lot of featured entrepreneurs or those that are going to be coming up later that I can collaborate with. But also, one of the biggest things that I'm very I use often. And I always say, I wish I would have created this because this is missing. It is like a journal or a planner. And I could definitely see, branding myself outside of just this live streaming platform, but doing other ways where I could also, host annual events, as I said earlier, that are going to help another, entrepreneur like myself gain more, and bring more awareness to small business owners. But how about doing that is like financially supporting them, giving them, some finance to do that. And because, everything has a beginning and everything needs support. And that support to some looks like, hitting the share button, leaving a comment, hitting like, and the other people are capable of financial support as well on top of that. So for those who are watching and you're an entrepreneur, don't limit yourself to where you are and what you see on an everyday basis. And sometimes what we engage ourselves with is, unfortunately and unintentionally, we limit our own selves as entrepreneurs to the area that, sometimes we engage ourselves with or live in. And sometimes the communities that we live in may not be financially free as others. Just because that community of people may not be able to do that does not mean that you should not be thinking in the way that you could still generate that. So what I'm saying is, don't limit yourself based on where you're at. Break off the limits to where you see yourself going and where you see the platforms and the businesses and all the things that, that could happen. And I'm just my faith is gonna come in. Yeah. The God I serve does not have limits.
Yeah. And you know what he says? Walk by faith, not by sight.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
You got to look at it like that.
Absolutely. And if he doesn't have any limits, then we shouldn't be putting those limits on ourselves as well. But you do have a question here.
Yes.
And this question from Deshaun, thank you. It says, with all of the success that Chats with Chantla has, in your opinion, have you reached your goal or mission that you are happy with?
Good question.
That's
a good
great question.
That's a great question. I really like that one.
That is. Thank you so much for putting it out there in the atmosphere that this is a success, because I believe that as well. But have I reached the goal or mission? In regards to the goal, no. I didn't really set a goal. I guess I did. I'll take it back. I set the goal to do it for 1 week. And so I met that and exceeded that. But so that small goal was achieved. But every week there's, the same goal is to be able to come back every Monday with great content and be able to help another, entrepreneur get exposed. Yeah. So the mission is to build, connect, and collaborate. And I'm able to do that every week because someone says yes to that collaboration. And am I happy? Yes, I'm more than happy. I'm extremely grateful. I'm joyful. Happiness can be temporary, but joy, I think, is what's inside of me and lasts forever. And so I definitely have, I'm very joyful that, I'm humbled by the fact that people are watching, people are supporting, people are sharing, liking, and commenting, and it is something. So Deshaun, thank you for that. I am happy externally, and because it's a feeling that can be easily changed, but I am extremely joyful because that is such an inside job and doing what I want. And like, to be totally honest, Mykel, I've said this before, but when you're an entrepreneur and you do something that doesn't cause you to become something different, I think that is so great. In my opinion, Chantla didn't cause me to become something new. Yeah. I like to talk, as you can tell. I love connecting people to resources. I love building relationships, and collaborations are beautiful. I think that, being able to collaborate with other people, and I can only speak for myself, but I feel increased every single time because it's such an honor and a privilege for someone to connect with you and align with you and fulfill something that you look at as a dream that you're living out in reality. And I think that is such an honor and privilege. So to be able to do that will have me smiling, I think, in my sleep tonight,
bro,
thinking about it.
So it's like, I love all the questions. If y'all have any questions while I'm helping, just let me know, and I'll see it and I'll ask her, or we'll ask her together, guys. So if y'all have any questions, just let us know. And talking about the joy of what Chantla, how do you go finding people to put on the show? That's another question I wanted to ask. How do you go find people to get on the show that you want to help out, or just get everybody else to see, hey, this person is still here and they're doing this?
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, it goes back to me saying that word of mouth. And then during the time that I get to, have that time, like this pre-screening with a possible collaboration, is that pre-screening, for one, is not like for me to screen and say, oh my gosh, I don't know if you are going to work for me. Yeah. It's also for them to say, Chantla, I don't know if, yes or no, if I want to collaborate with you, because, collaborations are two-sided. It's not one-sided. So during that time, people will share. Maybe it's through a question, like maybe somebody else who's an entrepreneur influenced them. But the biggest way that I find entrepreneurs to collaborate with on Chantla is Facebook. My social media is how, people will tag other people in the comments. That's why it's so important. And with doing that, it just allows me to connect, and, I'll send an email of interest and see how that goes. And, once I feel like once somebody allows me to sit down in that pre-screening call, it gives them the opportunity to hear the passion in my voice, understand the purpose, and also just to see and hear how, I'm supportive of who they are, whether they could say yes to the collaboration or not. It's actually a very beautiful time. And the reason why I say that is because there are a lot of people that I've collaborated with on Chantla who I lived with in, back home in Southwest PA. And, we saw each other just like walking past, or, a quick hello, because we had other things on the agenda and why we kept moving fast. And to get down and sit down and have a conversation with these amazing, talented entrepreneurs who are making huge impact in their communities, it was so refreshing. It was so refreshing. And I'll say it and continue to say it. I know those conversations have increased me and have made me a better person. And so it goes beyond chats for Chantla. Yeah, it definitely does. But again, I kind of went off like talking, but it was definitely, it's so much more for me than getting them on this platform. It's hearing their story. hearing their story makes you want to support them even more.
Yeah.
And so, it's just such a time of privilege to have for someone to give up some time from their family or squeeze me in the middle of their workday. Yeah. So for people to do that, that's I just want to say it's tremendous. It's a huge compliment. There's so much that I learned from you all during that time, and it is never taken for granted. So those who've got the opportunity to experience those pre-screening calls with me to find out if I align with what you're doing, not just for me to get a yes for you for this collaboration. Thank you so much for sharing. It's an amazing time that makes me feel tremendously honored to be able to be a part of it.
I'm happy that you're making Chantla Chantla. I love it. I watch it all the time, and it's just not that I'm your son. I like that the people we bring in, it's always somebody different. Mm-hmm. It's always they're doing something different. It's a different business. It tells you a different story.
Yes,
I love it. And then people don't understand because I see it all the time. The pre-screening calls, the calls. She literally puts her time into it. She wants to see everybody's comfortable. So when she's doing those pre-screening calls, it's not to make sure that y'all are on the same page. It is, but it's just for you to be comfortable. So me seeing that and see all the time that you put into it, I'm blessed that you have me on,
Absolutely.
I love it. And I watch it. You know me. I watch every Monday that comes out, I watch. I love it. And I really do appreciate that you do all this and how you put in time and how you talk to them to make sure that they're comfortable. You give them advice or you tell them you got this. Yeah. Some people just need somebody in their corner that can tell them like, you got this. You're going to do this. This is good. You're doing the right thing. Keep it up. Some people just need that.
Absolutely. Everybody needs a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I will say, and people probably see it on my social media platforms, I call myself a master encourager. And I say that. And the reason why I say it, and I'm comfortable with saying a master encourager, is because I live by a mantra. And the mantra is, God will make you a master of the things that were absent in your life. And growing up, a lot of times how I grew up, you go out and you do what you need to do, and not for, any negative reasons, but we didn't have a lot of, support and encouragement. So I didn't get to hear a lot of those things. And it causes you to be able to learn how to encourage yourself. Yeah. And because of that, it's allowed me to know when I'm talking to people, to encourage them, whether it's cheering for them, whether it's just a simple word of, I'm rooting for you, I support you, I hear you, I see you, you matter, you're important. All of those things are a form of encouragement that sometimes are very absent in people's lives. And also, it's very absent a lot of times in entrepreneurs' lives because they're doing so much at the beginning by themselves that you don't really hear people, talking to you or saying, I'm proud of you, or I see what you're doing as often as you may need to keep you going and keep you moving forward. And so, I love being, a cheerleader for people. It doesn't take anything away from me. Cheering for people does not subtract anything from me. If anything, it adds to me. I get to smile. I get to literally scream until I lose my voice physically and spiritually. I'm cheering, emotionally and mentally, I'm cheering for them. And I think to know that you have a squad, a real squad, it matters. It matters. And I hope I'm a part of many people's squads when it comes to cheering for them. It's a great place to be. It's a great position to be in.
I know. I love it. And if you didn't know, this is me, Mykel Ray. I'm your guest host for today. I'm here interviewing Chantla Israil, the creator, the real host of Chats with Chantla. So I'm going to go back to my note cards, okay? If that's okay with you. We'll go back to them. So this question is just for to show, just to get an idea of stuff that goes on and everything. So what actions do you take to improve yourself as an entrepreneur?
What actions I take to improve myself? There's many. And I think the biggest one is believing in myself. And I know that's more of a word, but it takes an action to do it. To keep saying, Chantla, you can do this. You can do this. The other things I do are getting up early, getting up early enough in that 5 to 8:30 time frame is mine. And it's dedicated to, putting my dreams on paper so that I'm holding myself accountable, because I don't want to just dream. I want to live it out in my reality. And so I feel realities feel better than dreams.
Yeah.
So, because you get to live it, you get to see it come to fruition. You get to be actively a part of that happening on an everyday basis. So I read, I watch YouTube videos, I watch Instagram stories of my fantasy mentors who don't even know I exist. I go and I'll hear about, the stories and successes and the steps that failures help you get to that next step of success as an entrepreneur from the featured entrepreneurs. To be totally honest, the reason that I can share things, you see me sharing things, is because I follow the people that I'm connected with. I don't just have that collaboration and then it's over. I definitely support them. So if they're posting, I'm sharing, I'm commenting, I'm liking, I'm loving, because that's all a part of it. Or if there's a product, I'm wearing it. To be totally honest, up top, I have some fake eyelashes on from Empress Extensions. And then on the bottom, I have my mascara that I got from Rashana Winfrey. And so, I'm wearing it, I'm talking about it. So the activities are making sure that I'm a woman of not just the word, but the action, so it's following the people that I believe in. It's supporting the people that I believe in. If I'm invited, I join, and I want to support those who are like-hearted individuals. I want it more than just a mind. It's a heart condition for me. And those activities that I do start with giving back, and how, anyone who's collaborated with me, sees this little quote that I have. If you want to lift yourself up, lift somebody else up first, and that's a Booker T. Washington quote. And it feels amazing to be able to do that. So my activities are a part of that, 3.5 hour time frame that I give myself on Monday through Friday. Even the weekends, I'm gonna lie. I was gonna just say I do it on the Monday through Friday. It's every day. Off when it's your dream.
For real. No, I already told you way long time ago. We all have dreams. But the difference between dreamers is there's people that are doers. And I always told you, always be a doer. You have dreams. We'll all have dreams. But the difference between people who go and get their dreams is the other people who are doers. They have their dream and they go and do it. They put the time in, they put the work in, they put the love in, and they just put themselves out there to be rejected if that's what it was, or to just come back and get all the love. That's how I look at it. More always be the doer and don't be the dreamer, because the dreamers are sleeping, the doers are doing.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
All right.
Yeah, I always told you, always be a doer.
You better do that. You're gonna have me take my hat off, but I don't know if I can take my hat off. I don't know what it's looking like underneath. But I love that. I love that. Thank you for even being my son and me being your mom. And there are a lot of times in that role, I may not have been the most likable person being that, but for him to see me in that light as a doer, he got me getting emotional. It means a lot. It means a lot. So you wait your whole life as a parent to kind of hear your legacies speak about you in a way that is going to be great. And they'll have a narrative to tell you how you impacted them. So for you to see me as a doer, that means a whole bunch.
No, it really
means so much.
You motivate me, and I'm just trying to help you too. You help me all through life, and I'm just trying to be that cheerleader in your corner now.
Absolutely. He is doing it for the people. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay.
And then I do have one last question on the report.
Absolutely.
It is, what are your final thoughts for your viewers?
Wow. I will say some final thoughts for today are that, get started. Don't allow whatever you tell yourself that you don't have enough of, or you're not enough of, to stop you. Do what you want to do. Don't worry about who's going to support you and who's not going to support you, because whether you're doing good or bad, people are going to talk. They're going to say some things. They're, going to support you because it's you, and they're not going to support you because it's you.
Yeah.
But, one of the biggest things that I would say in my final thoughts are know who you are. And that will get you past so many hurdles that would normally stop people. There's, in life, there's a lot of potholes, there's hurdles, there's, detours. It's okay. It's a part of the process. Trust it. Have the belief that you can do it. Even if you've never seen it done before, somebody has to be first. Somebody has to be first. And that first could be you, and I'll tell anyone that, all it takes, to be a little bit more than ordinary is extra work. And with that extra work, you become extraordinary. And being a mom, being a wife, my life and my life choices have geared me and placed me in the trajectory where I'm at today. Just be aware of the decisions you make and be okay with taking responsibility for them. And so in entrepreneurship, whether you make maybe a wrong choice, there is no wrong choice or in regards to failure unless you stop and it causes you to quit. Failure is a part of success. It's a part of the recipe of success. I think about anybody who's been successful. I think about the owner of Sheets, who's from Altoona, Pennsylvania. I read a book and he was in it. He failed over 1,000 times, he said. No one accepted his idea and he kept going. Jeff Bezos, who is the wealthiest person in the world right now, he failed a lot of times. And so a lot of people who consider failure, they didn't stop. And that's what made them extraordinary. That's what made them successful. Money will come. Make sure that when you're going to entrepreneurship, that you do it for the right reasons. Choose something that you enjoy doing, something that you're good at, and something that you would do whether you're getting paid for or not. Because if you do it the other way around, where you're doing entrepreneurship just for money, that's a guaranteed way that's going to cause you to quit, because money doesn't come as quickly as you need it or want it.
And plus money comes and goes. And if you love what you're doing, can nobody stop you from doing it, because it's a love and you're making it a craft. So
absolutely. And then also a part of my final thoughts is that I'm going to share my screen, a new feature that I learned how to do. So I'm going to do this with you guys, because it's going to be easier for me to share it this way. So we actually have, let me do it this way. Okay. So 1 second, guys. Let me get it. Let me present it properly. So yes. So I wanted to share with you that we have an amazing young woman, and her name is Ari, and she is a 10-year-old entrepreneur and creator. She is the founder. Yes, kudos to you.
You see, age doesn't matter.
Absolutely not. Ari is the founder of Ari Cares, where she, with her parents, help her prepare donations that she gives out to the homeless in her area. And this is so amazing. She is hosting an online talent show for children 4 and up on December 22nd on Facebook Live at 6 p.m. Also, any interested parties that would like to be a part of this need to contact her mom on Facebook. I'm putting her name in the comments. Is Tierra Menace, and she is also the owner of Beautiful and Blessed, and she is a jewelry maker, and she's also something really spectacular for this evening as well. But all interested parties need to reach out to Tiara. You can inbox her, you can comment on her page. And if you're interested in your child participating, again, it's 4 and up. The deadlines for signing up with Tiara are December 14th. But just support this amazing young lady as she continues to make big impact in her community. So Ari, everyone here on Chats with Chantla is so proud of you, is so inspired by you, and it is such motivation. Ari is 10 years old and she is making such a huge difference in her community. So make sure that you join her holiday talent show happening on December 22nd, Facebook Live at 6 p.m. You will not be disappointed. So I want to actually also share that her mom, who is now on the screen. Oh, let me take it back. Because technology is trying to just cheat on, and do some stuff. No. So I want to shout at her mom, who is Tiara Menace, and she is the owner of Beautiful and Blessed. She is sponsoring this week's holiday giveaway on Chats with Chantla, and she is going to be donating some beautiful work that she has. And so what you have to do to be a part of that holiday giveaway, there are 3 things, and here are the 3 things. Let me get those. And that is, you need to share tonight's episode of Chats with Chantla, and then also leave a comment, which a lot of you have already done. So you want to share, and comment. The winner will be announced tomorrow, which is Tuesday at 7 p.m. Her jewelry is absolutely gorgeous. They are amazing pieces. I have a gorgeous set of earrings. People are doing so much stuff, in regards to Christmas shopping. And, she's done these amazing bracelets for your Apple Watch that are gorgeous. I don't have an Apple Watch, but if I did, I would definitely be wearing it. She has some keychains, and they're all inspirational. They're so inspirational, the messages that are on them. So if you share, and comment on tonight's episode of Chats with Chantla, you will be entered by doing all 3 things in the drawing that will happen live tomorrow at 7 p.m. And I'm so grateful for everyone doing that. So again, it has just been an absolute pleasure to be on Chats with Chantla tonight as the guest, and, to have you support me, to interview me, to share this opportunity for people to hear my story first with my son here on my platform, which is amazing. I'm very grateful. But I just want to shout out all of you who continue to support Chats with Chantla every week, Monday at 7 p.m. You guys keep returning, you keep supporting, you keep sharing, you keep liking and commenting. It's just a beautiful collaboration. Thank you for allowing me to build with you guys. Thank you for allowing me to connect. And I love the collaboration. So, these collaborations are the reason why Chats with Chantla are a success. So it takes that yes to keep going. So again, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Mykel.
I appreciate it for being here. And I want to end off with everybody. I just want to say thank you for having me here. And thank you for just watching. I really appreciate it. And always remember, they're dreamers, they're doers. Be a doer.
Great. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week at 7.